how does the procrastinator ever get himself over here to this blue zone, a less pleasant place, but where really important things happen? Well, turns out that the procrastinator has a guardian angel, someone who's always looking down on him and watching over him in his darkest moments, someone called the panic monster. Now, the panic monster is dormant most of the time, but he suddenly wakes up anytime a deadline gets too close or there's danger of public embarrassment, a career disaster, or some other scary consequence. And importantly, he's the only thing that the monkey is terrified of. Now, he became very relevant in my life pretty recently because the people of TED reached out to me about 6 months ago and invited me to do a TED Talk. Now, of course, I said yes. It's always been a dream of mine to have done a TED Talk in the past. But in the middle of all this excitement, the rational decision maker seemed to have something else on his mind. He was saying, are we clear on what we just accepted? Do we get what's going to be now happening one day in the future? We need to sit down and work on this right now. And the monkey said, totally agree, but also let's just open Google Earth and let's zoom into the bottom of India, like 200 feet above the ground, and we're going to scroll up for 2.5 hours till we get to the top of the country so we can get a better feel for India. So that's what we did that day. As 6 months turned into 4, and then 2, and then 1, the people of TED decided to release the speakers. And I opened up the website, and there was my face, staring right back at me, and guess who woke up? So the panic monster starts losing his mind, and a few seconds later, the whole system's in mayhem. And the monkey, who, remember, he's terrified of the panic monster, boom, he's up the tree. And finally, the rational decision maker can take the wheel and I can start working on the talk. Now, the panic monster explains all kinds of pretty insane procrastinator behavior, like how someone like me could spend 2 weeks unable to start the opening sentence of a paper and then miraculously find the unbelievable work ethic to stay up all night and write 8 pages. And this entire situation with the 3 characters, this is the procrastinator's system. It's not pretty, but in the end, it works. And this is what I decided to write about on the blog just a couple years ago. Now, when I did, I was amazed by the response. Literally thousands of emails came in from all different kinds of people, from all over the world, doing all different kinds of things. These were people who were nurses and bankers and painters and engineers and lots of PhD students. And they were all writing saying the same thing. I have this problem too. But what struck me was the contrast between the light tone of the post and the heaviness of these emails. These people were writing with intense frustration about what procrastination had done to their lives, about what this monkey had done to them. And I thought about this, and I said, if the procrastinator system works, then what's going on? Why are all these people in such a dark place? Well, it turns out that there's 2 kinds of procrastination. Everything I've talked about today, the examples I've given, they all have deadlines. And when there's deadlines, the effects of procrastination are contained to the short term because the panic monster gets involved. But there's a second kind of procrastination that happens in situations when there is no deadline.
Not your job?
Or something in the arts, something entrepreneurial. There's no deadlines on those things at first because nothing's happening at first, not until you've gone out and done the hard work to get some momentum, to get things going. There's also all kinds of important things outside of your career that don't involve any deadlines, like seeing your family or exercising and taking care of your health, working on your relationship, or getting out of a relationship that isn't working. Now, if procrastinator's only mechanism of doing these hard things is the panic monster, that's a problem because in all of these non-deadline situations, the panic monster doesn't show up. He has nothing to wake up for. So the effects of procrastination, they're not contained. They just extend outward forever. And it's this long-term kind of procrastination that's much less visible and much less talked about than the funnier, short-term, deadline-based kind. It's usually suffered quietly and privately, and it can be the source of a huge amount of long-term unhappiness and regrets. And I thought, that's why these people are emailing, and that's why they're in such a bad place. It's not that they're cramming for some project. It's that long-term procrastination has made them feel like a spectator at times in their own lives. The frustration was not that they couldn't achieve their dreams, it's that they weren't even able to start chasing them. So I read these emails and I had a little bit of an epiphany that I don't think non-procrastinators exist. That's right, I think all of you are procrastinators. Now, you might not all be a mess, like some of us, and some of you may have a healthy relationship with deadlines. But remember, the monkey's sneakiest trick is when the deadlines aren't there. Now, I want to show you one last thing. I call this a life calendar. That's one box for every week of a 90-year life. That's not that many boxes, especially since we've already used a bunch of those. So I think we need to all take a long, hard look at that calendar. And we need to think about what we're really procrastinating on, because everyone is procrastinating on something in life. We need to stay aware of the instant gratification monkey. That's a job for all of us. And because there's not that many boxes on there, it's a job that should probably start today. Well, maybe not today, but you know, sometime soon. Thank you.
I'll say is that it's basically, I was in a moment of procrastination. You know, sometimes you don't notice you're procrastinating because you get stuck in a moment. You get stuck in that comfort zone, you know? And then you really got to take time, like, hold up. I think I'm procrastinating, especially as single mothers. I love that part where he said the panic monster. He said there's two types of procrastination. One with the panic monster and one without the panic monster. And just think, like, as single mothers, when we are a full-time mom and, you know, it's hard for us there's no panic monster. You know, especially if you are unemployed, you're a full-time mom, you're unemployed, and, you know, you're a single mom and you're unemployed. Where's your panic monster? You know, there is no deadline to go wash your clothes. There is no deadline for you to go get groceries. Our deadline is when we run out of groceries. But just think, like, as much as we have to what's the word I'm looking for? As much as we have to figure out how to prolong our food and stuff like that, I can't think of the freaking word right now. The word I'm looking for, where you have to, where you figure out ways to, you know, prolong your groceries and stuff like that. So yeah. When we do that, it's kind of like, where's the deadline? You find yourself just sitting around, and eventually, like I said, there's no panic monster. So when you don't have a panic monster, you know, what you have to do, your task can go on for days and days and days, and you got that monkey on your shoulder. You always got that monkey on your shoulder telling you. Like, when he was explaining that, I was like, I resonate with that so much. Like, that monkey is telling you, like, you telling that monkey, like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. But then that monkey, like, hold on. You know, let's, you know, get to the bottom of this situation. And then they find it, you know, you start to get amused and entertained by what the monkey is saying. And you are the monkey in that moment. That's your, you know, right side of the brain, I feel like. Or it could be your left side of the brain. I think it's the left side of the brain. So, yeah, you start to get entertained, amused, and then time goes by, and then boom. Dang, I gotta wait till the next day because, you know, that plan didn't go as planned, or to my, you know, plan. So, yeah, I just resonate with that a lot. Like, it was just like, wow. He was hilarious to me. But he was also telling the truth. You know, as mothers, that's what we do. As mothers, you know, we don't have somebody telling us to do this or get it done by this certain time or get it done by this certain day. We don't have nobody telling us that. So therefore, we have to do it, and we have to, figure it out and be our own panic monster. Our consciousness, our gut feeling, that is our panic monster. But yeah, we have to just tap into ourselves and get really, and just get really self-conscious. I am really trying to think what the heck that word is I'm looking for. When you have to that word is not coming to my mind. Dang it. Oh, I like these spray bottles though. This is $4.50 for this spray bottle. I bet I don't. This is $1 though. I used to get these spray bottles all the time. But yeah, so that's just what I wanted to say about that topic. And he wound up being a monkey at the end of the video because he was like, you don't have to do it. I'm not talking about right now. So yeah, that just it resonates with a lot of single moms or people that's at home that doesn't have that panic monster, or that panic monster is not being activated because you have no deadline. No, you are your deadline. Or, I don't like the way I put that. But these nails, it's too cute. I like matte colors. I like this color. But yeah, it's hard for us to find a deadline. And then we have to that's when I was in my video and I was kind of just like writing down and planning, because it's just like sometimes you just gotta break it all down and map it all out. Sometimes if you don't have a deadline, then you have to just figure it out on your own. That's why I said you have to be your own deadline. You have to say, you know what, enough is enough. I'm about to get up and I'm about to handle this. I'm about to get up and I'm about to do this. I'm gonna stop sitting around waiting, because the more I'm waiting, the more stuff is piling up. And as a single mom, that is our deadline, when we see a lot of stuff piling up. And even if it is, piling up, that still don't motivate us to get up. So we have to get ourselves up. We don't have to find the reasons why to get up. We just have to, just get up and say, I need to get up. So yeah, but I like how he, he said that, and how the little monkey ran up the tree when the panic monster came out, So yeah, scare that chip off your shoulder. So yeah, I actually need to go over here and get my they're making a lot of commotion. I need to get over here and get my money to yeah. So I will talk to y'all next time, and I hope I can figure out what that word is I'm looking for, because man, it's just like I can't think of it. When you're trying to figure out something, basically you're prolonging, you're making it more, you're making it last longer than you usually do. I can't think of the word for that, but that's what I'm talking about. You're making something last longer than it usually does. You have to, dang, it's right on my tongue and I can't figure it out. You're making something last longer than it usually does. You are I'm about to sit here and I'm about to figure out this word because it's on my head right now. And making something last longer than it usually does. You are.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Be notified and share at your own free will to show you care.
Obviously, the word ain't gonna come to my head. So, with that being said, that's about it. Alright. So, y'all. Talk to y'all next time. Bye.